Will we have a forbearance crisis when all these people have to start paying their mortgages again? Let's talk about it. I have people ask me all the time, what's going to happen when forbearance ends? Now, some people just today asked me, what's forbearance? So let's start with that. Well, when things started going south and COVID was causing a lot of uncertainty in our markets, banks started offering what's called forbearance, particularly for government-backed loans, but many banks were offering this, and the government actually dictated that they had to offer this. And forbearance is when they give you the option to stop paying your mortgage payments and not be penalized at the time. Now, I talked to a lender that told me it could still hurt you in the future for buying a house. We're not sure how that's all going to pan out. But basically, if your job was uncertain, or maybe even if it wasn't, you had the option to just call your bank and they would say, hey, we'll put you in forbearance. You don't have to make any more payments for 3 months, 12 months. Some people still have 6 more months before they have to start making payments again. So the question is, all these people are going to have to start making payments again. Is it going to crash the market? Well, let's take a look at it. First, let's talk about the fear of that. One of the fears was that you're going to have 30% of people that have mortgages going into forbearance. They're going to maybe lose their jobs, they're going to stop making their payments, and then at the end of the forbearance, they're going to have to catch up on all those payments that they have made. 30% is a huge number. When the market crashed last time in 2008, we had sometimes up to 50% of all mortgages defaulting and going into foreclosure. Is that going to happen again? Well, let's talk about it. 30% would be 9 million homes, a little bit over 9 million. In reality, there was only about 8% of mortgages that went into forbearance. And it was really easy. I remember calling my mortgage company just to find out about it. And before I even talked to anybody, it basically said, press 1 to put your mortgage into forbearance. I was like, I can just press 1 and I don't have to make any more payments until October, because that was what the recording said. You could put your mortgage in forbearance until October. It was tempting. I mean, hey, I don't know how the real estate market's going to be. At the time, I said, what if they tell us we're not essential and we can't sell any houses? What about this? What about that? What if the economy tanks? Maybe I should go into forbearance. And this was on an investment property, actually. So I didn't press 1. I didn't go into forbearance, but that just tells you how easy it is. I called Joseph King, one of our preferred lenders. He said, Michael, unless you really need to, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. But bottom line, it was super easy. Just press the button, you're there, and only 8% actually did that. Now, where do we sit today? 2.2% of mortgages are still in forbearance, probably even less than the last time I checked. And of that 2.2%, 93% of those, so the vast majority, have at least 10% equity in their home. I'm saying a lot of percentages, but what that means is that most of the people that are in forbearance owe a lot less on their home than what it's worth. And that makes me feel a lot better and less likely that a crash is going to come, because if they were to go into foreclosure and had to make it up, then they could just sell their home. They could pay all their real estate selling fees, their closing costs, their attorney fees, and still break even and maybe even put some money in their pocket. We actually had a client like that we helped sell to an investor. Many of these people can work things out with the bank. He tried to do that. They said no. So he said, okay, I have to sell the house. But just like in this example, he had enough money to where he was able to pay all the costs, get out of it without going into foreclosure, and still make a little bit of money. So that's what we love to do. That's what we love to see if somebody needs to sell. But many of the banks are working with you. They'll let you either put the extra payments onto the end of your loan. So, you were supposed to be paying until 2050, but now you have until 2052 to pay off your home. Or they may just increase your payment a little bit to help you catch up. Maybe you make an extra payment, things like that. There's all kinds of scenarios where you could just work with your lender. So most of these, again, worst case, they just sell the house. Everybody would rather sell than get a foreclosure on their record and have to get kicked out and all that stuff. Just call me. I can sell it, and you actually make money if you have 10% equity. So that'd be way better. But if you couldn't, you probably still make some money. Now let's talk about those 7%, because 93% have 10% of equity, but 7% don't. let's look worst case scenario. If all of those homes went into foreclosure. Well, first of all, that's about 85,000 homes. So 85,000 homes would just go on the market. Well, friends, I can tell you today our market is about 11,000 homes short of a balanced market. So this is national now. The whole United States, it would be about 85,000 homes. And that's if every single one of them went into foreclosure. Well, here just in our little part of South Carolina, we need 11,000 more homes to come on just to make it a balanced market, because right now it's such a strong seller's market. So, we could take 10% of those here and it still wouldn't even hurt our market. It would actually maybe help our market. So it just makes me feel good that this forbearance issue is really overblown. Of course, fear sells. They want you to be afraid. They want to scare you. They just want to, get more clicks on the videos and get people to watch the news and everything. But the fact of the matter is, that's the worst case scenario. It's probably not going to happen. If it did, it's not going to hurt our market too much, maybe even help it, especially if you're one of those buyers out there fighting over a house. One other thing that helps, the builders aren't keeping up either. The builders are behind. If you guys are building houses, that they're having a hard time getting materials. If you look at different decades, usually you build about as many homes as you have household formations. Right now, we've had about 20 million household formations in the last 10 years. We've built about 6 million homes. So the housing shortage is definitely more of an issue than the forbearance issue. And I hope that makes you feel a little bit better about your investment. Surely you can sell right now if you want to. I don't think you have to because you're scared of some forbearance, foreclosure crisis, some tidal wave of foreclosures. And if you're looking to buy, I would not wait on that to happen, because that may happen way in the future, but prices in the meantime are probably going to continue to rise. Interest rates may rise as well. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you can call me. If you don't mind, please like the video. If you appreciate the content here, we're going to keep putting it out, improving it, and you guys have a great day.